Hi guys, I'm Barry Boxing Coach and welcome to this week's video. In today's video guys, I'll be speaking about my top 5 favorite fighters of all time. So before we get started guys, please if you could give the video a big thumbs up like you always do, and please hit that subscribe button if you have not already. And for the comment section today guys, I'd like you to leave a comment, let me know your favorite fighter. You don't have to name the top 3, top 5, just let me know your favorite fighter of all time. Okay, let's get straight to it guys. So my top 5 favorite fighters of all time. So coming in at number 5 guys, I'm gonna have to say Conor McGregor. Not just because I'm Irish and because he's Irish. He's amazing, man. For someone to individually change a sport, you have to put respect on their name. He had his debut 2013 and I was like, oh, this is sick. He's amazing, he's really cool. He's from Dublin, you know, 60 G's baby. 60 G's baby! He changed the game. He brought so much attention to UFC, to mixed martial arts. People didn't even know what it was. I actually didn't even know what it was. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I'd be in this gym now, because it's a snowball effect. You get into it because of one fighter, then you watch a couple of other fighters. Next minute you're involved in it, and next minute you're training it or coaching it. And then what he done in the octagon, that's just outside the octagon. Him in the cage is amazing what he done. You know, burst onto the scene, had some crazy knockouts and crazy victories, kept stepping up, kept predicting his fights. Oh, the Chad Mendes fight, like he was getting elbows dropped on his head, how he nearly got submitted, how he got back up and just knocked him out, I'll never know. Then he went knocked out Aldo, had the rematch with Diaz, like just so many amazing moments. The first two-weight champion of UFC. If you don't respect him for what he's done, then I think you're an idiot. But number 5 choice is Conor McGregor. Number 4, I'm gonna say Muhammad Ali. A lot of people would have him as number 1. I know probably a lot of people will say that to me. I can't believe you have a number 4. I wasn't like obsessed with him as a fighter. I know he was so slick. He was amazing. I wouldn't say he was my favorite fighter growing up, and I wouldn't say I watch his videos all the time, and that's just my opinion. But he's definitely in my top 5, and he's number 4 because of what he stood for, what he done for the sport. You know, he had a lot of crap thrown at him, and he overcame it all. And he's a great ambassador for sports. So as a sports person, like he's the best of all time. He was charisma, he was funny, he could talk a lot of crap if he wanted to, he could wind you up.
Joe Frazier's so ugly, his space should be donated to the Bureau of Wildlife.
But what he stood for was amazing, you know. Everyone knows the story. So yeah, number 4, Muhammad Ali. Okay, number 3 is my man, Mike Tyson. When I started watching boxing when I was 11, 12, I used to just watch Mike Tyson all the time. I just thought he was ferocious. It's funny how you could just never have a replica of that kind of fighter again. Do you know? So I've never seen a fighter who can do what he's done, ever. Without all the sports science, without all the world-class training. He's just in the gym with his coach, Costamato, and he's just a beast. God-gifted power, natural aggression, natural strength. Like his neck was huge. He was so strong. Ferocious uppercuts, hooks, body shots. And his opponent's like 6'9". Mike Tyson's like 5'11". You could just see in their eyes they were shitting themselves, and then he would just go over there and bowl him over straight away. This is Michael Spinks fight, or Leon Spinks, I can't remember which one of the brothers, but he like dropped him in the second round and Spinks just got back up, and I remember Tyson just walked over. It wasn't even like a clever shot, he just walked up and just went, sparked him out on his back. Yeah, he's a beast. So number 3, Iron Mike Tyson. Number 2, a lot of you guys will probably be asked why did I pick this person. Some of you who aren't big boxing fans won't even know who this fighter is. Number 2 is St. George Groves, a London-based fighter. You guys will know well from his fights and his rivalry with Carl Froch. In 2013, my friend opened a boxing gym in my local town in Ireland before I actually moved to London and started coaching professionally. And I was living with my friend who owned the gym. It was a great time in my life because I just started getting back into boxing, just started coaching boxing, and this was the time of Froch and Groves. So we watched the whole build-up, and it was like, I just loved Groves. He was just winding up Froch. He was playing the bad guy, and it was good fun. The build-up was good fun. When the fight night came, I kind of expected Froch to just bash him up, to be honest. And then he was just so good. He just punched Carl Froch's head in the whole fight. It was just amazing. We dropped him in the first round, leaned back 1-2, and then he just hit him with every shot. He got booed in by the crowd, and then he got cheered out by Carl Froch's fans. because he got robbed in the end of it. If you guys have watched the fight, the ref stopped the fight when he shouldn't have stopped the fight. The shots that Conor was repeatedly taking were a lot worse than the damage that Groves took to get stopped in the fight. So I just became such a big fan of him after that fight. I loved his charisma. And him as a person was actually important to me watching that at that time, because I just got really captured in by the moment and by the year. I suppose they had their first fight in November 2013. They had the rematch that summer. By the time the build-up was on to the end of the second fight, it was special to me because I watched all the interviews. Me and my friend who owned the gym, we would talk about who's going to win the second fight. As we know, Conor did end up knocking out George Groves, but the way he built it from nothing to Wembley Stadium, you know, and that was Groves. I know Conor was a unified world champion at the time, but Groves made that fight. Groves made the whole thing so big. It ended up in, as we know, in Wembley Stadium with 80,000 spectators there. Eventually, he went on to win a world title against Chudinov. I thought he always speaks well in interviews. Well, maybe not as much in his younger days. He was just winding everyone up, but towards his later stage of his career, he spoke very well. And yeah, George Groves, number 2. This is my top 5 favorite fighters of all time. Not who I think are the best of all time, but this person, in my eyes, is my favorite of all time, and he's the best of all time. When I speak to people and we have a chat about who we think is the best of all time, and I mention this person and they don't agree with me and they say someone else, I'm always like, how can someone think this guy's not the best? And everyone's open their opinions and stuff, but I just think this guy is so obviously best of all time. And I'm going to say Floyd Mayweather Jr. for my number 1 choice. The guy, I don't even know how to explain, speechless sometimes when I used to watch him. If you look at it from a technical point of view, first of all, if you started watching Mayweather 2013, you're going to say to yourself, yeah, he's a bit negative, he picks his shots a bit, moves a little bit, but you haven't watched his other fights when he knocked out like 27, 28 people. Do you know? Then he hurt his hands and completely changed his style. Do you know how hard that is to do when you're a world champion? It's not like, oh, I've had 2 or 3 fights now, I'm going to change my style a little bit. He was world champion. He beat De La Hoya, beat all these boys, and then decided in like 2000 and I don't know, maybe 11, 12, 13, to change up his style, shoulder roll, you know, catching and countering. But it's unbelievable what he's done. Look how good Canelo is, and he couldn't touch him. Look how good Pacquiao is, he couldn't touch him. Look how good Ricky Hatton is, he couldn't touch him. These fighters just, you have to realize how hard that is to do, to be levels above world-class fighters. He beat some fighters who people were saying are the best. Definitely, maybe not best of all time, but at that time, this guy's a pound for pound best. And schooled them. Like I spoke about, guys, in my previous video, how to train professional fighters. One thing I spoke about, which is very important, is have an answer for everything. That's how I like to train my fighters. So we're ready for anything. So what I mean is that no matter who he's fighting, he just figures it out. He figures it out. He has his game plan. It's all good having game plans, whatever, but it's what happens right there and then. Anything can change, but no matter what happens or changes, he's ready for it. He nearly got knocked out by Shane Mosley in the second round twice, cracking shots. And then he won every round after that. He adapted to it. He thought about, what have I done in the gym to overcome this situation? He just puts it together every time. If you're aggressive and you're throwing punches over the top, he'll figure it out. If you're throwing big shots to the body, he'll figure it out. If you start throwing to the body and then bringing your shots over the top, he'll figure it out. If you got a good jab, he'll figure it out. Because he's practiced. Very gifted, but he really practiced every aspect of the sport. And just so smart. Just brilliant jab, brilliant defense, brilliant head movement, brilliant movement from his waist, great footwork, great timing, great speed. Now him as a sports person is genius. I'm just gonna make everyone hate me. I'm gonna sell out all the arenas because everyone wants to see me lose, and I'm just gonna keep winning. He knew that if he lost, it would be kind of done for him, because that's the whole thing. Can someone beat Mayweather? And I used to watch the All Access videos. I don't know if you've seen them. It's like the build up to the fight. Every time he was fighting someone, I'd be thinking, right, this time he's gonna lose. It's like, Mayweather's not going to be able to take that much pressure I put on him. He's not going to handle my power. He's not going to handle my speed. He's not going to handle my boxing skills. He handled everyone. He handled everyone. It was just such a smart way of looking at it. If he was nice and respectful and kind of quiet, he just wouldn't have made as much money. But he was the richest sportsman of all time, every year, back to back for years and years and years. So he's nearly made himself a billionaire, being arrogant, being funny. And it's like people really buy into it, like, oh, he's so rude, he's so arrogant. But I see it a completely different way. It's so harmless what he done. It's just like a bit of fun, a bit of banter. Sells the fight. People want to pay to see him lose. Yeah, I'm gonna go see Mayweather lose this weekend, but it never happened. And also, young kids or teenagers or even high-level pros, they should look at him and think, yeah, I want to be like that. I want to take least amount of punishment and make the most amount of money. That's what it's about. Because you can make all the money in boxing, but if you're brain dead after, what's the point? You can't spend your money. Very smart, very clever, amazing fighter, financially smashed it. His health is top notch. Thank you for everyone that tuned in to watch this week's video, guys, on my top 5 favorite fighters of all time. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like I said, please let me know your favorite fighter. Drop it down in the comment box, and give the video a big thumbs up, and please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you all next week. Take care. All the best. Goodbye.